Here we have the Pico 4 VR headset, which is lighter than many others out there. It's got an impressive resolution, it's incredibly comfortable to wear, and it also comes in at a decent price. So we'll start off with the unboxing. We get the Pico 4 headset, the two controllers, the quick start guide and the manuals. We then get the nose pad, the glasses spacer, and finally the USB-C cable and the charger. So the Pico 4 has two displays with a resolution of 2160 by 2160. They're 90Hz displays and offer a 105-degree field of view. We've got pancake lenses instead of the traditional Fresnel, and these allow for a much smaller form factor in the headset, as you can see here. We've got 4 cameras around the edges for the inside-out tracking, and we've also got this center camera in the middle, and this gives us a full color pass-through. It's powered by the Snapdragon XR2 chipset, along with 8GB of DDR4 RAM at 2133 MHz, and it comes with a choice of 128 or 256 gig storage. We get a 5300 mAh battery to provide up to 3 hours of active use without charging. Then we've also got a motorized IPD adjustment, and this has a range of 58 to 72 millimeters. Now the look and the form factor of the Pico 4 is just incredible. It's small, light and compact, coming in at just 586 grams, and it's great that we've got a nice amount of padding on the back instead of just a strap as we've seen on others. In terms of the design, it's well thought out and the adjustments are incredibly easy to use. You just secure the top strap to suit your head size, and then on the back pad we've got this wheel which you can turn to tighten it up. Now I need glasses, which has been an annoyance for me on other VR headsets. If I haven't got my contact lenses in, then I just tended not to play VR. Now thanks to the Pico's quick magnetic system though, if I want to play with glasses, I can quickly remove the eye padding, insert the glasses spacer, and then play it within a few seconds. Now that being said, I've recently stopped using this glasses spacer altogether, and I found there's still plenty of space inside this headset to play with my glasses, even without the spacer. Now it's a great looking headset and probably the most comfortable VR headset I've used. It's lightweight and there's plenty of padding, and we've got a good weight distribution, so it feels very balanced on my head. For the controllers, we've got a familiar layout for the VR. They're also pretty comfortable to hold. We've got the analog stick in the middle surrounded by 4 buttons, and we've also got a trigger for the index finger along with a second trigger for your middle finger, and both feel very natural to use. We've got capacitive touch sensors in the thumbsticks as well as the 2 main buttons, and this gives a more realistic finger movement during the games. We've got great haptics, and the first thing I did was increase this to maximum in settings, and it just gives a much better experience. Now each controller takes 2 AA batteries which slot into the back of the controller, and these provide up to 80 hours of use. The tracking rings are slightly different from what we're used to, and they run from the front to the back, and they were actually designed this way to perform better in games like first-person shooters where you put one hand in front of the other, meaning that the controllers are in line and it just helps with the tracking. Setup is nice and easy, and it takes you through creating the account in the headset, and this just took a few minutes to complete. Setting up the distance between your eyes is also incredibly easy thanks to this motorized IPD. We just press plus or minus in the app and then quickly find the suitable setting. You can choose between 62 and 72mm IPD, and you can actually go all the way down to 58mm, but you've got to accept a warning as it may put extra pressure on your nose going this low. The first thing I recommend doing with the headset is going into settings, and you can enable double tap of the side of the headset to enable pass-through, and I've used this so many times in my testing. The pass-through works incredibly well and it allows you to see the real world in color, and you can quickly enter it to find your controller or just move things that are in your way. Now you do get slight distortions when looking through the pass-through, and it's not detailed enough to be able to read a text message on your phone, but I was able to use my computer and go through all of my Steam library as well as operating my camera when filming this video, and overall it just works incredibly well, and it means you never have to take off your headset. It's also used for setting the VR boundary, and you can quickly draw the area you want to stay in, and it warns you when you approach the edges. Now when it comes to the gaming, you of course have all the native games built into the Pico store. Then we've also got the option to play PCVR games either with USB-C or wireless. Now the native games run incredibly well, and you've also got the option to cast these to another display so that other people can see what you're playing. Now with my testing, I couldn't get the casting to PC browser to work, but it would cast to my TV or my mobile phone. And then we've also got the option to take a screenshot or screen record at 30 frames a second. Now the gameplay footage you're seeing here was recorded directly on the Pico 4, so keep in mind this is in 30 frames a second, whereas the game I was playing was smooth at 72 Hz. I found the gameplay to be very comfortable even after longer sessions. The display provides a nice bright crisp video thanks to the high resolution. The gameplay experience was great fun throughout multiple games, and the only downside I have is there's a little bit of light leaking in from the sides. Now I'm not sure if this is just down to my head shape, but there was just a small amount of light getting into the sides of each lens. Now hopefully we see some more faceplate options for different shaped heads, but as a quick temporary fix for me, I used a small sock to cover up the gap, and that worked perfectly. The sound quality was also pretty good from the head strap's built-in speakers, and the microphone also records good quality audio for speaking to other people in the games. So this is a test using the built-in microphone in the Pico 4 headset, and this gives you an idea of what the microphone quality sounds like. I also really like the volume up and down button on the strap, so you can quickly change the volume depending on what game you're playing at the time. Now when using VR though, I much prefer external headphones as it does give a much more immersive experience, and you can link a Bluetooth headset to the VR, but personally I just don't like playing games over Bluetooth headsets as there is that little bit of latency, so I highly recommend using wired headphones. While we don't get a 3.5mm jack on the Pico 4, you can still use a USB-C to 3.5mm converter, so that's great news. Now the Pico Library is new, so it doesn't have all of the major titles either that we see on some other headsets, but it's already got plenty of games in the store and many new ones that I've never tried. Whether you're into more active games like punching, dancing, fighting games or shooting, or even relaxing with a spot of fishing, there's something for you in the store. Now I've played plenty of games throughout the Pico Library and I've had a lot of fun playing them. The library is growing quickly and there's already plenty of popular games coming over like 11 Table Tennis, Gun Club VR, Rec Room, and The Walking Dead is coming very soon. We've also got the developer of SideQuest who says that it is already working with the Pico 4 and we just need developers to start porting games over to this new platform. We've also got the ability to play PCVR games, and I've seen widely online that people are having the best experience with wireless in virtual desktop. Now personally, this didn't work well for me, probably down to my network, but playing PCVR games with the Pico software has been working very well. Now again, because of my network, the wireless side didn't perform too well for me, but if I plug in my 5m USB-C cable, I can enjoy all of my favourite Steam VR games at 90 Hz. Now I found the PCVR really enjoyable. We can also enable the 90 Hz option in the settings, and playing games like Beat Saber and Half-Life Alyx has been incredible. It's a shame that we don't have a DisplayPort option like we had in the Neo 3, but the compressed data over USB Type-C has been good enough for me to play, and the games have still been enjoyable. Now I've been playing Beat Saber on Expert and I've had so much fun doing it. It's responsive, it's fast, and just an enjoyable experience. I've also been playing Half-Life Alyx for the first time and had a lot of fun with this game and found the immersion to be pretty good. When playing PC games, I can also just use my wireless PC headset, and this adds even more immersion to the game. Now most of my gameplay testing has actually been wearing my glasses, and even without the glasses spacer, it's been very comfortable to play. Even after a couple of hours, I didn't have any issues. Now throughout the native and Steam VR gameplay, I found that tracking is working incredibly well. It's always got my hand and head movements correct, and I've had a couple of glitches from time to time, but I'm talking like once or twice in a 2-hour session, so it's really nothing to worry about.
Wait, I just live here.
Probably anti-citizen. Get those hands off!
Wait, don't shoot!
There is security.
we've also got hand tracking for when you don't have controllers, and this is just in the developer options at the moment, but from my testing it does track the hands very well, as you can see here, but then it's a little bit awkward to navigate the menus, so it's not quite ready yet. The software is pretty much what we're used to when it comes to VR UIs, and we've got the window in front of us and you just use the controllers as a pointer and navigate through the menus. We can select from different environments for the menu, and although there are only 3 to choose from at the moment, there are customization within those to just mix it up a bit. Now overall, the Pico 4 is a great entry into the VR market and it creates some much better competition. It's great for the native content, which I guess most people are going to be interested in, and as the platform develops, we're likely going to see more and more titles appearing on the Pico store as more users adopt them. When it comes to the PCVR experience, it's also a good choice thanks to the wide field of view and the high resolution. While it's a shame we don't get the DisplayPort, the link cable has been great for me and I've seen many others enjoying wirelessly over virtual desktop. I've previously been using the original Oculus, which connects directly to my PC's HDMI, and I have to say I've preferred using the Pico 4 and the quality has been good enough to enjoy and immerse myself into the games. I've been pretty pleased with the overall experience, and it's also impressive that we're already at this stage for a newcomer into VR. The headset starts from €379.99 in the UK or €429, which is a great price and cheaper than its main competitor, the Quest 2. For me, I choose the Pico VR for its high resolution and comfort, allowing me to play longer, and I'm excited to see how this product develops over time. Now, if you already own a Quest 2, then I wouldn't suggest upgrading, as there just wouldn't be enough in it, but if you're looking for your first VR headset to purchase for you or someone else, then I definitely choose the Pico 4. Now of course, I've placed links down in the description below if you want to purchase or just check out the full specs, and as always, if there's anything I've missed or you've got any questions, then just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, smash a thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down twice, and I'll see you guys in the next one.